Alright, today we are back for War 11 against PBT. This is a rematch. They got us earlier in the season on a 3-3 tie. So we know we're going to have to bring our A game this war. And I get to be a CGR main today. Kind of excited about it because I can't fuck that up, more or less. You have to suck to die with CGR because he just nukes things very quickly. Now I do have 2 Void fights. And I do take a Photon with Menace on a node I haven't taken yet this season. It's a Hazard Shift Conflictor, but we'll get there. Now this first fight is a Void. And I'm going to power start 1. I only use 150 and 8 because it's a path fight. I'm going to save my 200s. And I'm basically mastery swapping after every single fight. So that means I'm going to have to reapply certain boosts twice. So I'm going to go with the smaller ones. And yeah, I mean, look at this Void. I think it's a rank 4. I fully expect one L2 to kill. If I'd really thought about it, but with CGR, I feel like the power back boosts are necessary, just in case. But I mean, just watch this, because if you blink, it will be over. It is probably my quickest ever war fight. There it is. 2 combos, L2, and he is going to die. A 12-second fight. That's it. That's like a record for me. Now, I have been kind of tinkering with my masteries with CGR. So I feel like I noticed a difference this war. I might be making that up. I might be lying to you. What do I know? But to me, in the fights, it did seem to make a difference. So I'm going to be watching to see if it actually did compared to my other fights. Now this is one of my 2 Void fights. It's just a Dragon Man. Yeah, it's just a Dragon Man. Now the global will allow me to just ignore Hazard Shift. And we're just going to spam L1s. He'll go some indestructible at times, but I just don't care. And look how quick we jump into that fight. Oh, man. My editing skills is getting on point. You're welcome, people. You're welcome. And yeah, I expect a little bit of chip damage in this fight. Because I know with insult to injury, some of my parries might not stick. So some of the times I just don't even bother. I just go on and just block. One last thing to pay attention to. I hit into his block just to keep spacing. I don't want to get backed up in my corner. It's really the only danger in this fight. And as you can see, I mean, he's really just dropping. There's some times where I'll just hit into his block just because he has the power gain up, and he'll drain power. I mean, it's a very simple fight. Not much to it. Now, I did trigger an unstoppable right there, which was mighty unfortunate. Real dickhead move of Dragon Man, if you ask me. As I do have this Spider 2099 relic on Void, so I was kind of hoping not to trigger that bullshit. But here we are. So it didn't matter. We was able to work around it. So now we're going to another CGR fight. I will eventually move. There we go. I thought so. Now we're going to be on path 9 again. And we're going to be taking a Cape Bishop. Yeah, my bad. I sat here for a minute because I was taking these fights at work and somebody hollered at me over the radio. And I had to handle that real quick. Tell them, look, I ain't got time to be working right now. I got MCOC fights. If y'all can't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. They very kindly told me where I could shove it. And well, here we are. Now with this Cape fight, it's going to start in shock, but I just don't care. I'm just going solely for the nuke and ignore Hazard Shift. Just going to ignore it altogether. And as you can see, yeah, Hazard Shift just doesn't matter. And the reason let me explain. The reason I ignored it, because I can't parry her. I was like, man, I'm going to get backed up into the corner. You know, I could see where a lot of things could go wrong. So I was like, look, I'm just going to eat these potions. And it just is what it is. Now, this is our second void fight. So, and now every CGR fight I do take, I did put on max suicide, max recoil, and full suicides. Now with the void fights, I take them all off. Run my standard mastery setup. This one has one eye open. Plus that Kate had power focus too, and I wanted none of that. You know, her L2, that's so, this didn't sound like a whole lot of fun, so we skipped it. We skipped the fun part, I know. But now we go to this man thing. Again, I don't even bother taking decks off because, well, he's going to be putting pustules on me and whatnot, so there's still a chance of the unstoppable anyways. So why take it off? Let's just up that chance a little bit. Adds to the fun. Yeah, it's got one eye open and that's about it other than hazard shift. Again, the global, it's just too strong. Like it really is too good. You can just bypass so much damage and not have to worry about it. So we're going to get into this fight. I will slow play it a little bit. And again, with Void, we're just going to spam L1s. That's the way I play Void. I think that's the way most people play Void. Now, I do try to keep an eye on the slow. Because I ideally do want to keep it up. But, if we being honest, I don't really pay much attention to it until it pops up and I'm like, oh shit. Okay, back off. Just don't tell anybody in my lines that I really don't watch it like I should. But this fight goes down very smoothly, very easily. I mean, I've got my debuffs up, Fear of the Void's up. He's just going to melt himself. But now the void fights are done. So we're going to move on to our next fight. I took these that morning. I come back, take my last 3 that evening. I was waiting on my buddy X. We was going to coordinate. That way he could get his fights done and mine because he had a few pre-fights. He was kind enough to place this on the Atuma, which I greatly appreciate because Atuma can be a real dick sometimes. And just having the ability to parry makes this fight very easy. And we're just going to CGR nuke it. That's really it. But we're not going to power start one. It's going to be similar to a few fights I took a few wars ago. I'm going to do the entire cycle. And the reason is for that. So Damnation will get rid of all the regens. And at that point, he's not going to regen any of my L2 damage. It's just a safer way, in my opinion, to approach this fight. Of course, you can do it with the regens up. And you could probably still kill it. But that's just not the approach I wanted. So we're going to go with a slightly slower one. So we start off, get our parry. He's getting power gain from something. And then we're going to get our power gain. Then we're going to get our vigilance into L2. And yeah, it almost killed him. But this, oh man, I forgot he threw this L2. Man, it almost caught me because I was trying to spam that L3 button like, hit it. And it wouldn't hit. And I'm like, why not? And then I see his L2 coming at me. I'm like, block. Please tell me I block. Yeah. You know, as you get old, your reflexes get slower. That's a hard lesson I've had to learn the hard way. Because I'm still 20 at heart. It's just my mind doesn't work quite as fast. So we do move on to this Photon. X was kind enough to place another Wags. Had to do a quick mastery swap again. Now. I was talking with the officers and we decided to place a Wags on here. Because normally when you parry Photon, she's going to get an untouchable. And if you do hit into her miss, she gets 4 charges. We're like, hey, Wags would bypass that and just make the fight easier. So we put a Wags on the fight. And you will see Wags does not stop the untouchable. Or if it does, I just have no earthly idea of what I'm doing at all. Which, well, I mean, there's a good possibility of that. But you'll see whenever I figure out how to hit the fight button exactly what I'm talking about. So see, we get into the fight and I start off with a parry there, and I see the untouchable and I'm like, oh shit. So I go back to what I know, and that is just bait heavies, because I'm not going to put on an intimidate, I'm not going to put on an infuriate, I'm not going to trigger conflictor at all. I'm just going to do 5-hit combos ending in mediums, and I will get to 20 charges by the time I get to an L2. Because anytime a buff fails, I gain a charge. So that's how my mixed emotions is getting up. There we go. We get to the L2. Wait a minute. 10, and she's dead. Just like that. Just like that. So we made a slight audible in the fight, and it worked out. Now my last fight is another CGR fight. We're going to this Adam. I still hate to see him. There's something about his face makes me want to punch it. I still won't even rank this guy up. Still sitting unranked in my roster. I should probably stop holding on to grudges. But that was a tough one to let go. Now this is just CGR. We're gonna power start 1, and we're just slowly going for the nuke. That's it. We want him as dead as quick as possible. I put on a 12%, I put on a 200%, and we're gonna go with it. Here we go. We get our parry, we're gonna get our power gain, parry. Now we're gonna get the vigilance, and we're gonna go into the L2. And yeah, you can see, like, I feel like CGR done way more damage this war than my previous wars. And yeah, he's dead. He just died. Now this is the end of my war. This was all that I contributed to. And the score will pop up in just a second. We did win. We had a very good war for us. It was a good bounce back war. Very proud of the guys. We won 5-1. We almost got the Alliance White Donut. It was close. But hey, one more war and that's it. So we'll see y'all in the next one.